And in Nira, what we do is we look at each person as an individual, someone that's unique, someone that has their own journey. So the way I look at it right now, all of us feel like we are at one time point, at one time plane together. The reality is we are all actually traveling on parallel timelines. And we happen to be together at this moment of time to share an energy that will help us evolve and take us forwards in our parallel planes in wherever we want to go. The ultimate goal being the same. If you believe in enlightenment, moksha, release from the cycle, if you want to call, of birth and death. But if that's too far of a concept, right now it being whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life, being the best mother that you can, being the best daughter that you want to be, being the best career woman that you want to be, being the best wife or husband that you want to be. So whatever it is that you have chosen as a purpose and a goal for this birth of yours is what we at Nira nurture, culture, grow and help you achieve. So this is not an organization that works en masse with a lot of people trying to make everyone into, let's call, a Buddha. For us, spirituality, for us, meditation does not mean sitting cross-legged with your eyes closed, focusing on your breath or only on the center of your forehead or on a light. These are steps towards the ultimate goal. We do take you through those processes, we do train you on those, but the ultimate goal is not to get you attached or restricted to any particular technique. We want you to understand the technology behind all of it. And if you understand the technology, the meaning behind it all, how can this become a practical application for you in your life, wherever you are and whatever your trials, tribulations, struggles, frustrations, angst, anxieties are, to come out of it. That's basically what our goal is in Nira. And for someone it may be a physical ailment, for someone it may be a relationship, for someone it may be finance, for someone it may be career. But for us, it is all ultimately an imbalance in an energy that can be healed. It is a journey that can be made smooth, that can be made even, that can be made enjoyable, that can be made celebrative. And what do? We set a goal. We go so sincerely and so devotedly after it that we forget to enjoy along the way. And when we achieve it, we have often set a new goal after that for ourselves that does not let us rest. So we postpone our celebration. We postpone our enjoyment. We postpone our living, as I would say. And that's something that we have to be trained in, we have to learn. Or rather, in the modern system of education that we follow, we are trained how to become a good member of society. We are trained how to earn a good living. We are trained how to raise a good family. If that's our goal, to earn good money, to enjoy all the luxuries and pleasures of life. But there is a part of the education that is missing. And that part is how do we nurture our soul, our heart, our spirit, which is ultimately what wants to be nurtured with peace, with calmness, with relaxation, with celebration, with joy. Ultimately letting us feel that we are enjoying what we are doing and not just doing it because we've set a goal for ourselves and we have to reach there. And many a times we feel that once we achieve what we wanted to achieve, after a moment or after a short period of happiness, there is again an emptiness that comes in. We feel like when I get that new iPhone 6, I'll be happy. And the same is true with physicians. I went to the best doctor locally, now I want to go to the best doctor in the state, and then to the best doctor in the country, and then the best doctor in the world. And ultimately, at the end of it all, yes, your suffering may have reduced, but your bank balance also has. And you may not have the final healing that you're looking for to get out of the cycle of physical ailment or disease. And so in Nira, when we do our retreats, just to give you an idea about the basic retreat that's coming up, we start working on at least 3 levels. Okay, mind, body, spirit. On the body level and the mind level and the spirit level, the first thing that I realized I needed but didn't know how to do till I came into the systems or the techniques that I now know or can apply when needed, was I realized that there's a lot of, excuse the language, crap inside that needs to be cleaned. As I would say, there's a lot of emotional baggage that we are all carrying. I realized that even in the most balanced relationships that to the external world seems like the most fantastic marriage that can be, when they sit down with me one-on-one, okay, they wish at times they could pull out their dagger and, do what. But you know what? Society doesn't allow us to do that. Sometimes we can get so upset with our children that we want to give them a few left, right and center. But we'd be in jail under the Child Protection Services Act, which is rightly there. Okay? So what do? We learn to suppress. We learn to suppress our emotions. Fear, anger, tension, worry, angst, frustration, resentment, guilt. And it starts bottling up and bottling up and bottling up, day in and day out. No one ever taught us how to empty that bottle. At least once a day. Okay, at least once in few days, once a week, once a month, once in 6 months, once in a year. When was the last time we emptied that bottle? I realized when I came into this organization that nobody ever taught me. My schooling, education, all my MBBS, all my doctorate, all my medical training never taught me how to get rid of that pain that I felt of my patient who was dying in front of my eyes of cancer, knowing that I could do nothing for them. No one told me how to release that. Or of that child who was going into drugs repeatedly and we were counseling and getting them out, and I would again see them on the psychiatric ward after a few months. Nobody taught me how to deal with that pain. Nobody taught me how to deal with the anger that I had felt against possibly my parents, my siblings, my friends. These all become poisons in our body, literally. Modern medicine recognizes it now and says that it is these suppressed, it's a very common thing. We talk about hypertension. Hypertension as a disease happens to people who suppress a lot of anger. You keep getting angry, you can't express it, you hold it in because what will your spouse say, what will your kids say, what will your superiors say, what will your juniors say, what will the world say. And I'm not saying it is right to lash out at anyone, please understand that also. There's nothing wrong in getting angry. But there are ways that you have to learn how to deal with anger, how to release it in a safe way without hurting yourself or hurting the other. Getting angry, as they say, as we describe it in the spiritual world, it's like you're holding a charcoal in your own palm when you actually want to burn the other person. And when you realize, and sometimes if you do throw the charcoal and burn the other person, you realize your hand is also burned in the process. So you can never get angry on someone or something without having hurt yourself. It's not possible. Does that mean you shouldn't get angry? I'm not saying that. It's not humanly possible to do that, not even for me. But when you get angry, what do you do? How do you deal with it? That's what we teach you in Nira. How do you open that cork on that absolutely filled, wanting to burst out bottle of suppressed emotions, which have now led to depression, arthritis, panic anxiety attacks, and in the earliest stages, headaches, acidity, indigestion, lack of sleep, lack of good quality sleep. And when you start releasing those poisons and toxins out, you realize you don't need to buy the iPhone 6 to be happy. Happiness is already there within. God has blessed each one of us already with that energy. We just have to connect to it. And that connection is what we do in Nira. Connecting you to your own self, to your true self, to your real self, so that you can experience joy, happiness, celebration, relaxation, peace, whatever it is that you're seeking, in whatever it is that you choose is your journey in life, and come to that point where you feel you've had a good journey and it's been a celebrative journey, and whether you reached your final destination or not becomes a secondary point at that time, because you have enjoyed every minute of the way. And it's possible.